Good evening, everyone. I am just waiting for my friend Michael. Let me just invite him.
Hello.
Hey.
All right.
So that's your house?
Yeah, I'm in the backyard.
That's where you grew up?
Yeah. I got it set up on a picnic table or you know, the whatever under an umbrella. Uh,
Good.
how are you doing?
Yeah, my hair's all messy, but okay. Messy hair, don't care. Oh yeah, I wish I had my messy bottle too. How are you feeling on
Uh,
it?
Good. Um, I haven't had really obvious detox or anything. I felt pretty similar, but everything's just changing so quickly the last week, and there's been such insane energies, I guess. Um,
Yeah, back to back.
Yeah, so I mean, I think I was struggling last week, and then I'm losing track of when I had cried, if that was 1 or 2 weeks ago, or when I was in the car. But then, um,
It was last
kind of,
week. It was
yeah,
last week that you had that big cry.
and like the beginning of July, for a week or so, I was really struggling, um, and facing tons of inconvenience. I forget if I mentioned that last time. That I was
Yes.
getting that, and then it was worsening, but then it was helping condition me to transcend the construct of inconvenience. Did we talk about that yet, or was that just recently?
We did talk about that. I don't know. I think it was 2 weeks ago when we did
Okay.
Inconvenience.
Okay.
Uh, Last week, I think, was a really kind of scattered topic episode, but it
Yeah.
was focused more on that big cry that you had.
Yeah.
I'm getting them all mixed up anyway, but
Yeah.
what was
Time is
that thing?
dissolving.
Yes, it is.
Ability to
Well,
like short-term memory.
yeah.
But it's
Everyone's like,
deepening the transcending inconvenience and stuff. What?
yeah, would you like to expound on the inconvenience? Did you want to add to that?
Um, let's see. I also want to just mention, I had like the best day ever yesterday,
Yeah, I
and
want to hear
then
it. Details.
um, and I'm gonna jump around. So what I'm saying is, let's see. Then I had the biggest cry last night. That was really cathartic, and it felt like one of the last couple big things in my energy field. Um, and then today I felt great, but I slept late and I was resting, and then it's sort of been emotional, but like I'm super empowered and I'm really letting go and feeling amazing and activating my masculine more and everything and engaging more with people with comments and stuff. I'm really letting go and saying like just crazy, bold, authentic stuff and getting insane downloads all the time. I mean, like every day, I basically get the trippiest downloads in the history of man, and then it's like the next day. I mean, 3 or 4 days ago, I might not even remember anymore what was happening, and it was like this is the most profound thing ever. Um,
Yeah.
so, and then I was struggling like an hour ago, and for half the afternoon, I was like great and empowered, and the other half, I was sort of emotional or getting frustrated, and um, I'm trying to like really put myself out there and reconnect socially more now, and I'm trying to like be open to going on dates, and I'm trying to. I went to the beach the last 3 days, um, so I've had tons of progress, but then I was just feeling bad briefly, and I didn't have much energy, and I was like tired or I'd been crying, so I wasn't sure if I was going to make it tonight. And this is actually interesting because I had terrible attendance in school, and I got to
You
where
made it here
I,
again.
yeah, I was like, actually, I started with perfect attendance in uh So did I mention though? So I ended up smoking, and so I might jump around. So,
Hmm.
but I might also say some really interesting things or just download. I mean, it's just wild what comes
Just
through it lately, and the cannabis really helps. I
just
guess
let it
raise the
flow.
vibration and the light turns up, and my awareness has been ridiculous, and it's getting more and more comfortable. It could be overbearing if you're too aware, and like if I was this aware a few months ago, it would have been like uncomfortable or it would have been like a panic attack. But now I'm just like so emptied of trauma and programming and judgments and attachments. I'm like the things I'm transcending now basically are there's a few big ones. Inconvenience. I'm not I'm not all the way there and it ebbs and flows, but like I'm really close within a few days probably of completely transcending inconvenience as a construct, regret, um, um, attachments. Because of the time traveling downloads that I'm getting about how crazy this is going to get,
Yeah.
there's no sense in having regret or attachments because I literally know that everything is happening simultaneously and that I can set intentions to like we're literally in a video game where you could think of each day or week or year as a level or parts of levels, and you could say I had an intention or a dream for this day to go a different way, and you could choose to set the intention to have like a groundhog day of that day where you do it differently, where you're now more enlightened than you were, and you have set the intention and sort of created that, and then you have your future self leading you. Oh my God! So there's so many details. I'll jump around with the future self stuff that I'm starting to grasp.
This is interesting. I have a question about that.
Okay.
So, like, with regret too, there's another side to that where, like, well, I don't have any regrets because I look back and I can see that everything happened for a reason and in perfect divine time. So, with that in mind, would you still want to go back and change things?
Uh, Um, no, I mean, there's just such acceptance. Yeah, so I mean, like, it's sort of you get the best of both worlds because you know everything's working out in your benefit no matter what. Per physics, like everything that's coming in, it's just what you're attracting to show you. Like, it's so hard to explain, but like, oh man, like I don't want to. Oh my God. Okay, I'm trying to focus. What? Can you ask the question again?
With regret, because I don't, well, for me personally, how I transcended, I don't really know if that's the right word, but I would lean more towards saying that I don't have any regrets because when I look back at my life and all the events that happened, it's very easy to see clearly that everything happened for a reason and that every single thing taught me something that I needed to learn.
Mhm.
And every interaction that I've had with another person has enriched their lives and vice versa. And I can see that everything, that timing is, that everything happens in divine time. And so, from that standpoint, would you still want to go back and change things if you had a choice? I mean, you could if you wanted to just be playful about it.
Yeah,
If
that's
you're,
yeah. Okay, it's like it's I'm we're playing the best video game ever. Like it feels so much like a video game now to me. Think of it as like we're just realizing it's a video game, and now we're starting to be able to play it interactively and learn how to ascend in frequency and create a stairway to heaven or dreams or the ability to time travel. And then you basically then once you beat the game for the first time by reaching the flash, you and staying awake to experience conscious awareness of it, and then you go on. Then it's the equivalent of dying because you've transcended the third dimension. So you would get the life review basically. You'd go on the spaceship or whatever, talk with your team, and then you'd plan the next adventure. But because you've now beaten the game, instead of going back and reincarnating as a baby, a handful of years after your last attempt or whatever, your last avatar died, and now you it's so amazing to look at it like this. Okay, wait, this is getting, I'm probably getting downloads. So basically, you can look at it as you acquire the ability to like load state or save state in the video game by now having played it, and you don't want to like cheat or like you want to have the best experience, and you're not regretting anything because you're seeing how cool it is to play through without warping or without cheating or using the cheat codes that we're going to have once we have like superpowers. But once you beat it by getting to the Flash awake, you could then see it as, okay, now I'm going to play that cool level again, and I'm going to do it in a way that now I know more. I'm at a higher level of awareness. I know it's a video game level now. This day that I would have done differently or made different choices if I didn't have fear or trauma or something. And it's like a learning curve, and now you're better at playing the game, so you can truly choose to replay any day or year of your life and do it from an enlightened standpoint, having beaten the
Mm.
game as an ascended master who's now aware that you're an ascended master, that and then once you have the interactive contact with your future self, um, it's and it's all relative. Like that future self is still relative to a future self of it, I think, because you're basically like gradually rewriting history in more and more abundant ways. So we in a way we already are time traveling because we've always been time traveling if we ever discovered time traveling. So because they would come back. So let's see. I had been thinking of it before that it was just going to be once we get to the Flash, then we have our first experience. And now we're time travelers, and that there was going to be a pre-time traveler, and then you're doing it. I'm realizing now that there's ebb and flow even within that, where we're going to choose. I was thinking we're just going to go straight back to July 17th, 22, and everybody but me, you, our partners, sorry, everybody else, maybe a couple of soul brothers, but it's good news. It only gets better. Jason Lyric. Um,
That's also a
getting better
Beatles
getting
lyric.
better all the time. Yeah, because it's literally rewriting things. So basically, think of it this way: this might not be our first time, in a sense. I don't know.
It's not, because
It's
we already kind of know what we're doing.
right. We might have even decided to go back a whole year. What I'm saying is, we're not. We want to do this super gradually to have it be the most fun and the most like you don't want to turn the lights, you want to like turn the dimmer on the switch on the lights up as slowly as possible, but then you're also sort of lowering it back and then going up a little higher and lowering it a little less low. And that gives it the variation. But now that we're not unhealed, um, the ebbs don't hurt. We're not trying to like be numb. We're actually allowing the natural heartbeat of existence to play out. That's day and night and inhale, exhale, and um, yeah. So I'm losing my train of thought.
That's all right.
uh, what was I saying like 10 seconds ago?
The variation
Okay, yeah,
thing going,
yeah. So I'm realizing, first of all, we're not going to want to go back a whole year, perhaps. The first time we time travel, we might want to play out the last couple weeks in a handful of different fun ways where we get to sort of each give our soulmates multiple cool ways of having sort of like surprised them or like, you know what I mean? Like we're crafting stories basically at this point in creations where we're beyond Christ consciousness, basically, and like somewhere. I mean, like what platinum consciousness, from what they tell me, is when we break the matrix, when you actually break the firmament and transcend the third dimension. Okay, what am I saying? So
Do you mean like
levels.
4D?
Um, well, I guess beating the video game in a sense is ending time by breaking the ceiling, and then we merge the field with the sun. The flares basically meet our expanding energy field up to the roof, basically, and then we reconnect with our higher self. So it's sort of like that. Kundalini awakening, and it like breaks the dam, and the dam, I guess, is the firmament. I don't really
So,
understand the science on the firmament exactly, but it's just so trippy to get this downloads about it.
so the fifth dimension
I'm in the
is when
dark.
we, yeah. Have you got a light or anything?
Let me think. Wait, I have. Did that do anything? Wait, put.
No,
Okay.
a little bit, not much though. A little bit. Oh yeah,
Is that helping?
yeah. Yeah.
Let's see, am I gonna be visible or no?
You're more visible than you were.
All right.
Wait, hang on a minute. Before you get back into it, I just wanted to read you one of the comments.
Okay.
It's from your local white boy Jordan. He says Michael must become a motivational speaker and keep it up.
Yes, thank you.
I couldn't agree more.
I can't believe I'm getting more comfortable. Yeah, where I'm getting so aware and like so healed that I'm just like, it's just so exciting to like, I don't know, have adventures or try to like help people and stuff. And I'm just like tipping more than ever. I'm so abundant in mindset. I know the science on like, they're trying to lower our vibration with inflation to deepen our scarcity mindset. And
Mm.
we can defeat that by just choosing to be abundant and like give it all away. Like the Be Love lyrics or 5-6, they were coming
Give
up
it
again.
all away.
I was thinking about, I was like almost 50-50. I was going to win a lottery scratch off yesterday. I'm getting close with the physics of
Dude, I
material.
already bought 4 lottery tickets. I was so disappointed with the last one. I really thought I was gonna get it.
And I actually made a commitment to like, I, I was challenging myself to face a fear with asking a girl out basically, because I've still been sheltered for the last 20 years and blocked from all social contact, except for I had one girlfriend and a few friends, but like no peers. And there's also topics to get into. Let's remember about sex stuff and like age gap relationships, and
I'm gonna write that
uh,
down.
there was or the Sound of Freedom movie, and let's see, judgments. I mean, it's really delicate topics. I mean, I'm going to get super triggering soon because Spirit's basically having me recognize the logic and science of optimizing our healing so we can really get to the energetic root of genocide and of sex slavery so that we can actually all heal and ascend and live in harmony instead of perpetuating judgments and control mechanisms. Like throwing a bunch of people in cages is not going to get to the root of the issue. And there's going to be a lot of people that are angry, and there's a lot of moving emotions with this movie. So I think it's a great thing
I haven't
for helping.
seen it.
I
Can
haven't
I
yet
still
either.
talk about it? Oh, okay.
Um, I mean, it's not even a huge topic for me. I just know, I just really sense that regardless of whether people want to have the positive or negative outlook to the motivations from the filmmakers or whatever, it's still, I think, stirring people's emotions and raising awareness. And there's a lot of people who are still various levels of awareness and, I don't like the word awakeness, but like, because nobody's really awake, but we're all dreaming. But um, or frequency. So the people that are at lower frequencies per physics are going to have their beliefs and their truths are going to be a vibrational match closer to deception and fear, and
Yeah.
farther from love or um, universal truth. I mean, so my truth is not the ultimate truth. It's just I happen to be connected to source and to spirit. I have the highest awareness I've had, but it's a drop in the ocean to everything we could know in the universe. So it's just so humbling to be like, oh my God, we're all basically just the deepest level of a dream. And when we eventually ascend, or when we die before we ascend, it's like a character in a video game dies, and then you play as a different character to go across time, and eventually you clear the karma and build a stairway vibrationally to blend with heaven/dreams, and then your previous sleeping life, I guess, becomes your new waking life, and then perhaps you would then have, I don't know if you'd then have a sleeping life in 70 or 60 or this stuff gets really trippy. I mean, I'm just still learning, but
I love it
um,
though. I love
yeah,
how it like bends my
yeah,
mind. It's just
and it's so
yeah.
trippy to start to feel like I'm really close now to. Ooh, bug. There's like a bug on me. Really close to lucid dreaming and and flashes of sort of remembrance of old forgotten dreams. So I'm starting to tap into possibly soulmate stuff, future stuff. Um, Again, I mean, I can sense certain things based off of like the trajectory of the energetics, where like you can use like the math and science to sort of get an idea of what's coming. And we just had crazy amounts of solar flares lately. So yeah, I feel like I just mentioned like 8 topics I want to get back to, but I don't know if I'll remember.
Okay, can I read it to you? Because I
Yeah,
missed one. Sexuality, sound of freedom, judgment, inconvenience, regret, attachments. Was there something else?
I don't know, probably dating,
Oh no, the age thing.
age,
Age.
um, yeah,
Ooh, let me check if Calibri's gonna join
healing
us. Shall I try?
generational trauma.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. This is juicy, juicy. Let's see. I'm gonna try and invite her and see if this works, okay?
Let's see. Am I able to, if I shift, maybe if I move the table? I don't know. 1 minute. All right, not very great. If I have the light behind me, I'm trying to see if that'll help. Maybe more visible, or just not. I need a light out here. I don't know. I have like no comfort where I am. The whole living situation. Did we talk about that? Trying to.
Yeah, well, can we? Well, okay, yeah. I want to talk about your living situation.
Between posing. Yeah.
I also want to talk about, I want to hear the
Ugh.
fine details about yesterday because you said that was your best day ever.
Yes. Oh, and I can move about too and just get used to doing this more. I'm still a beginner with being live on the internet. All right. Uh, Go in the laundry room again. Let's see. Oh, it smells like weed in here. All right. I gotta go back to the dispensary soon. We're running low. It's so funny. Like you think you're gonna like take a break, and then you end up having really great experiences, and then healing, and then it becomes more about releasing the self judgment for the things you think aren't like highly aligned choices or something. Oh, that's a tough
Yeah.
thing.
My uncle wants to join. Oh,
Okay.
he's going now. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for wanting to say hi. Sorry I wasn't able to accept your request.
All right. This might be
Okay.
too low. The seat, my head goes. Yeah, that's too low. Is there anywhere that I can be comfortable? Um,
I don't know. Let me see if I can accept this request still.
hmm.
I don't know if it worked. Tito. No, it's not working. It won't let me add you. Why is that?
I'll be back in a minute. Okay.
It's okay. I don't know if. Oh no, I've done a live with 3 people before. So I don't know why this is not working. Here, and let's see. Well, while we're waiting for Michael, I just want to welcome you to Thursday night. I always forget to say it
Yeah.
at the end. I mean, at the beginning. Oh my gosh, I had another early waking.
I don't know. It just makes me sad. It's just I'm objectively mathematically certain that I am the Messiah, and I don't sleep in a bed or have a friend. And
Oh.
I'm at profound levels of peace. I was saying to my sister yesterday, I, I'm at a level of peace that I didn't know was possible to experience in this reality. Um, in my wildest dreams, I never could have imagined feeling this blissful and peaceful and grateful um, with friends and money and a partner and my own place. Like I'm in between houses. I'm like, my mom and sister are like freaking out about moving. I'm like, I'm able to tell people how to cure death. Like, you're not looking at a big enough price range. They're just stressed over taxes. It's like I've transcended money. I look at it like there's a couple weeks left, and the more I give, like the universe is not going to not provide me because I'm serving. So, and I understand the physics of how to attract. I'm starting to like bear witness almost in real time to my reality bending in my favor. I feel like my field is like the size of a town. It's,
Oh,
it's
I felt that
I don't know
feeling.
how
That's
to even
good.
fit somewhere.
Just stand
I don't.
up. You're like expanding. You don't need chairs, Michael.
Am I able? Maybe I could do. This might
What
be a
is
little
this?
pain.
Is this the closet? Oh, is this the like mudroom or something?
It's a laundry room.
Oh, right, okay. Laundry. Okay, let's see. All right, Colibri can't join right now. Ooh, I think I saw an orb.
Hmm.
Okay. I like that color. It's unusual. Um, okay, so yeah, you were gonna tell us about yesterday. Let's start from the very beginning.
Okay, I'm gonna go somewhere else because it's terribly uncomfortable in here.
Where are you going?
I'll just go into this room and see if I can just hold the phone, I guess.
Oh, this reminds me of your earlier videos.
Yeah, this is my den. It used to be brown paneling and now it's white, so I thought it was gonna be great for having orb ability to see orbs. And no, it's the worst color for that. um, any way that I can set up a thing so that I can have a phone set up anywhere at all. Wow, this is crazy.
What is all that noise?
I'm just trying to set up a way to have the phone be in a height that's high enough to have it stay. Like, I've
Yeah.
never had any luck with technology. I have a brand new iPhone and it's 2023, and my videos will not upload to YouTube. But again, I'm at a high enough level of
Mm.
awareness. We're in like a simulation essentially. So I'm attracting outrageous levels of inconvenience because I can handle it. Because I see everything with the look for the good attitude of gratitude. So they're helping it's basically like this rigorous course of you attract Murphy's Law to the most outrageous levels to deepen your ability to have, because once you can like fully have unconditional gratitude, um, and you've transcended being able to perceive anything as inconvenient because you're just so used to looking for the good and then everything is good normally, but it's like strengthening your muscle or whatever of your spiritual muscles, and it's like it's sort of like if you imagine like gutters in a bowling alley, or I don't know, and then it's like they're growing together or something. It's like the bowling ball's getting closer and closer to center where it's not bouncing anymore, and it's like it's like guaranteeing a strike basically because it's honing you in. At this point, I feel dis-ease in my body or spirit. I'm so sensitive to experiencing it. I don't seem like I'm at crazy levels of peace necessarily, but moment to moment. But that's just because I'm like strengthening my ability to be uh, um, resilient, I guess, in like challenging situations. All right, so if I could find a box of tissues, perhaps. No, they disappeared. Okay. My mom lost the fob, or I lost it, or Spirit took it, or I don't know, because it she was so attached to it that I was telling her, Mom, the physics of this, you're going to push it away. You're going to lose it because the universe needs to help you heal that because you're carrying this weight in your energetic field over a fob, a key fob. And it's stupid that they don't make keys for cars necessarily in this day and age. I mean, what in the world is happening?
Yeah,
Right?
I would, that's what I would, one of the things I would change if I became the world leader. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not. You can do what I want.
Here has wide spaces, so I'm going to have to find some sort of background to have the capacity to set it up. I don't have access to my desk for years. It used to be like a lot of clutter, but it's not anymore because we got rid of a lot of stuff. And then we just have a lot of stuff in a pod.
Oh, I haven't had a desk in a while. And even when I did have one, I never got an opportunity to use it. It always gets taken over. So now I just have this box. Oh shoot, I can't show you. I was using it to lean my phone on. Oh yeah, okay, let me just show you. This is my podcasting box, and I put my laptop in there, and uh, that's my desk. I have a movable desk.
I can't even see. I'm sorry. It's just still ridiculous. It's not possible to be comfortable in a house. I've never experienced feeling home in my house.
I'm sorry, Michael. Um, yeah, I guess while you're setting up, I just wanted to say that it's been a big week. Well, a big 2 weeks. I think a lot of people have jumped timelines and really made great strides in uh, transcending really huge things. And it's so cool because it's only like half the year, right?
Yeah, lots happened since New Year's.
Yeah, so wild. Like Calibri's, are you doing a bottle of Acia a day? Are you
Almost,
still doing that?
probably like every other day,
Oh,
maybe.
really? Are you
Yeah, I've done.
fasting?
Um, generally not, but like I I intermittent fast usually. I only usually eat once a day.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
I weigh less than I just don't have much of an appetite. I weigh probably a little less than when I had puberty. Like I was 17. I'm like,
You sound a bit muffled.
oh, okay. Well, yeah, maybe the mic or of course not. Okay, so I'll have to keep figuring out how to do this, and maybe one day I will pass a test. So I mean, like I can observe shadow rising just from it's just anything to try, anything to just experience the horror of my life rising to the surface, so I can feel all the aspects from all the different years. Um, Maybe a shoebox.
You don't sound very clear at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's sitting on a pillow because I'm looking for items that exist in the room that I can be of use to me.
Yeah.
Is
What
that
it?
better?
No.
Okay. I can use the tap to the ASEA to get the microphone to not block. Is that better?
A little bit.
I don't know where the microphone is.
It's
I don't have a.
on the bottom if you've got a new iPhone. I think it's on the bottom.
I haven't gotten a phone case yet. Oh, I finally bought footwear for the first time since 2006.
No way.
That I did at my that I went. I mean, my mom had bought a few things for a long time, but a couple pairs of sandals. So that's exciting. I need to get new sneakers. I've just been so squeezed with all the purging the last couple years, and uh, I haven't. I'm just starting to be able to start with basic health, basic self-care, and I feel like my whole life I've just been waiting to start. I've been in purgatory since I was like 13, 14. So um,
I just thought of a question, Michael.
yeah.
You're did you do any major dietary changes for your in your healing journey, or was it mostly energetic?
Um, Mostly energetic. I eat a lot worse than I did when I was eating really well 5 to 10 years ago. I felt a lot worse.
Really?
I drink soda now. I do whatever I want because I know we're dreaming. So I'm able to create my own reality basically through my beliefs. And I mean, the food is lower vibrational still technically, but I've emptied so much with all the crying that like I've so much aligned my divine life purpose or whatever. So I have pain medicine still from fibromyalgia, and I just 100 milligrams of tramadol or 200 some days. But it just has always been wonderful for mood and for physical stuff. And I'm meant to like relate to everybody, I think, and uh, not be perfect or be like a work in progress and stuff. So I feel amazing. That tramadol has helped save my life the last handful of years. I'd like to not need it at all, but I feel way better physically than I used to, despite eating terribly. I'd like to eat a little better with juice and smoothies and stuff, but um, they've basically been, I mean, Spirit's basically been telling me from May onward, it's like a victory lap. It's like giving the soul of Christ like his happy ending, where it's like I'm living like it's I'm a child in a amusement park, and they want me to eat what I want, and the main thing is healing all judgment, and not thinking that anything could be wrong that we do ever. Um,
Oh yeah, man. I had some uh, niggling remaining shadow on that, on guilt and shame and judgment. And yesterday I was like getting frustrated because I was judging myself, and then I was judging myself for judging myself.
mm,
And it's just like stop it already, you know better than that, which is also judging. Uh, it's like a fractal, you know.
yeah, that
Yeah.
reminds me of yesterday, where I was sort of, I mean, where I was just deepening that to such an extent. There was a third straight day I was going to the beach, and I was getting to a point of just like really deep peace with all the inconvenience and seeing it all as really humorous or almost like exciting. Like, ooh, somebody's going slow in front of me in traffic. I'm being held up to be 10 seconds so I can get aligned with a really cool synchronicity that I'm about to
Yeah.
experience, something that's going to really lift my spirits. Like, I know for a fact that that's what's going to happen. So every time I experience inconvenience now, I'm conditioning myself to see it with gratitude, to know that I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. I'm fully like aligned now with the higher self. So there's what was I saying? There's nowhere. What is that line I said a couple weeks ago? I think you
Oh,
don't need
there's
a
no, yeah.
vacation when there's nothing to escape from. Jason Mraz from Everything is Sound. So to really get to where you can be where your feet are, another Jason song.
I love that
Um,
one.
yeah, I love that. Um,
Maybe you can sing that for us
oh,
later. of
Oh,
course.
do I know it well? I mean, I forget it. I mean, I do it. There's two different versions of it, and then I have it pinned on my profile for a long time, where I'm harmonizing with Jason, a specific version, and but yeah, and also making it up. I was thinking about that one because I wanted to talk more about the
Mm.
time traveling and talk about my day yesterday. Yeah, we're just getting started. That's another Jason song on the new album.
Yeah, it's the first song. Sorry,
I've still
I'm
only heard half of the album still.
what?
I'm we're So we're Lennon and McCartney, and there's 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks out now, and I'll get to it. Um, Same thing with like Alec. Like I don't have time to we're like brothers, so it's like I've heard everything. I agree with everything. It's like we have the same mind basically. So it's like we did this cool live a few nights ago before the end of COVID started, and I watched the whole thing for like 2 hours and 15 minutes, and I was recording. I'm gonna post it if YouTube would ever let me upload. Uh, things would ever finish uploading. But that was a really great live, and Alec was saying a bunch of smart things that I've heard him say or I agree with, um, and I was just like making lots of crazy comments, and I've been getting really bold with that. But yeah, I'm jumping around. What were we talking about?
Well, I wanted you to talk about your
My day?
best day ever.
That's it. Okay, yeah, because there's just so much exciting stuff to talk about all the time. I can't even, it's happening at a rate that's quicker than I can sum it up. I'm just having to like savor and have half of it just be to myself. And I forget things that are monumental from like
Yeah,
5 days ago. Anyway,
I know.
for my
I
day
feel the
yesterday.
same
Okay,
way.
so inconvenience. Okay. So I was up early. I took my mom to work, because my car is in the shop, of course. Um, the rotors like failed. Like it's like a new car I've had for like a year. I specifically was like asking when we got the car, are the brakes okay? I've had like bad luck throughout my life. I don't want to talk about this. Anyway, um, so I have her car. She doesn't have air conditioning that's working because she has self-esteem issues and hasn't fixed it yet. I love my mom more than anything. It's just frustrating to see her. I want her to heal. I want my sister to heal. I want them to like recognize that it's great that I'm feeling peace. And
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, so my day was great. So I took her to work. Okay, and then I decided to go to the ATM. So I was driving, and then let's see, um, I decided to go to a different one than normal because I was like sort of going in that direction. It was a little farther though, but then I'm like, oh, it'll just take a minute longer. So then I hit like a road closed thing, or there's like a detour in a parking lot because they're like fixing things up. So then I go around. I'm just trying to figure out how in the world to get around and just get out of this stupid parking lot to go try to get to the TD Bank. Um, and remember, we had that problem where a couple weeks ago, I went to where my mom works, a grocery store, Wegmans near me, and when I went to check out, the whole TD Bank failed where they couldn't do any transactions with those cards. So I had to go find my mom, who happened to be working that day, and borrow her credit card just to check out after I've been shopping for a long time. So that's the kind of inconvenience I experience routinely that I'm learning to just roll with. But yeah, so then the parking lot got confusing, and I went to a dead end, and that was hilarious. And then I went and turned around, and then I went up to the road, and then it was like you can't turn left, and I needed to turn left. So I'm like, okay. And then it was taking like an hour for me to turn right, and then I turned left to turn around, and then I had to like wait on an inordinate amount of time to be able to get out to turn around, and then I finally made it to the bank, and it doesn't have one of the drive-through ATMs, so you have to go inside. I go inside, and the inside ATM is out of order. Uh, this is this is how I'm set up to have the best day ever by like showing me this, and then I'm like narrating as I'm going through how hilarious this is, and how it's like, okay, they're okay, the universe is trying to inconvenience me to test my ability to not judge where I am and to recognize that it's always been working to my benefit. And I knew that it was. So I had a choice point, and I'm at such a level of awareness now where I'm constantly seeing where shadow is or where it used to be or where I would have made a different choice out of fear or shame or trauma or something. So I realized, and it was like 9:15 in the morning, and they were open, but I was like, oh, the old me never would have gone inside and talked to the person because of my social anxiety. I would have just tried again later. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I get to like choose to like send love to the parts of me that are uncomfortable with going in, and it's less safe feeling or whatever. But I'm like, this is easy. I can logically know that it's just malware programming that I'm just it's an artifact that I'm still uninstalling or whatever. So I went inside, and the woman was really, really great and nice, and it was just a great experience. And I got the money out, and then as I'm pulling out of the parking lot, the odometer said 11:11. And then I got behind a car 2 minutes later, a taxi, and it had 11:11 on it. It had 22:22 in the phone number, 66 and 88 in the phone number, and it was 77 degrees at the time.
Oh
Um, and
my God.
then I got home and it was 77 degrees for the start of my teapot. So I get like strings, like outrageous levels of synchronicity real close
Yeah,
together where it's like from
me
God or
too.
from my sister or whatever. Um, so it's just like you pass these little tests of are you going to like get reactive when you're inconvenienced, or are you going to sort of laugh at it and deepen your presence and gratitude? Because when you can get really unconditionally grateful, where you're never trying to get anywhere, then that can work hand in hand with deepening the presence. And then knowing that you're going to time travel soon, that everything you say is going to be forgotten by everybody in a couple weeks, makes you let go even more easily. And then it's just like this self-fulfilling prophecy, or it's well, different words. Um,
Did you
like on
say self-fulfilling
autopilot.
prophecy?
It's like an
Oh,
auto.
autopilot. Okay.
You're like a homing missile towards your dreams, and you can't help it anymore because you're so aligned with the destined timeline. You see everything converging. You see all the crumbs of shadow just getting obliterated. You're who knows what mathematically am I 50% double Christ consciousness? What am I at this point? They tell me I'm diamond consciousness, and it's really hard for me to say these things because it sounds egotistical. But it's like I'm just I couldn't make this stuff up. We're standing on a much taller mountain of collective light as we get closer to unifying our field. So the most enlightened people now are because we've gone up in frequency so much the last 3 years. So Jesus just didn't have as tall of a mountain to stand on during his time before it wouldn't have been kind to not let him ascend, because it would have been like being a super ET amongst his people. Um, at least now there's enough light workers. I think Phil might be right around Christ consciousness. I think Lori, I think a handful of people now are getting there probably unwittingly, because we have access to so much light. I mean, these are just labels for mathematical, scientific frequencies that I'm sure there's some instruments that could measure. Ooh, remind me, I want to watch Alex's podcast episode with what's her name? It's like on biofield tuning. I
Oh,
forget.
Eileen
Yeah,
McCusick.
I you mentioned that one to me, and I'm getting nudges that I don't know. And I heard Alec talking about it, where he was saying something about she was able. I guess what is she? Is she a doctor, or what does she do?
She's she does tuning forks. Well, she's a
Okay.
biofield,
Right.
person. So she heals people, well, assists in their healing using sound, using vibration
Yeah.
tuning forks.
Yeah. I don't even like the word doctor anymore, um, but yeah. So I remember him saying something about like how she could, I think, determine based off of frequencies or something within the field of the person, like
Yeah, she
where
can tell you.
where a
She
trauma,
can,
like yeah,
yeah.
where you had it or something.
Yeah, like she'll say, like she said to Mike Winner, when you were 8 years old, you had some sort of fall. Like she can
Wow.
read your field like that. Like she
Cool.
understands the language of the vibration from the so like she has a tuning fork like this, and then she can bring it closer to you, and then she'll like, so it's smooth like this, and then all of a sudden she'll feel that there's like something here. There's like something stuck right there
Mhm.
in your toroidal field, and then she'll be able to know what that was. Like something had happened to you when you were 3 years old or whatever. It is really neat. And she
Wow.
just like learned this herself. She's so awesome. I love her. And
Um,
yeah, I want to learn
and
how to do that. And you can learn how to do that. There's a book called Emotion Codes that I want to get.
uh,
Where are you
and
going?
Alec was saying something about I'm making like tea or coffee because I figure I talk a lot and then I try to sing and I if I smoke or I'm trying to be more prepared to help my voice be. But I've been singing really strong lately. But then I also notice I'll get hoarse when I start to act from desire instead of passion. So that topic again of like when you're seeking getting somewhere outside of yourself, you need to get it reflected back to you that you're attaching to outcome or something. My light just blinked. Hi, Michelle. Um,
Hi.
you, you need to, yeah, attaching to, oh my God, I lost my train of thought.
Yeah.
What was it saying?
Sorry, desire versus passion. If you're
Yeah,
acting from desire, then it's more force instead of
right,
flow.
right. So like I was singing really well because I was just having fun with it, and then like my sister was almost coming over, and I still have a hard time being full in my best singing when she's around because I'm still holding some level of attachment to her validating me or hearing. She's a professional singer since she was like 17, and like I don't think she's really even heard me at my best because I don't know how to be at my best in front of like an observer because of my self-worth stuff historically and wanting like this perfectionism because I felt like I had to be absolutely perfect in
Yeah.
order to not get murdered basically in my past
Mm-hmm.
lives
Mm-hmm.
and or that or then it would get me murdered or whatever or it would I don't know like or you have to like pour from an empty cup and then yeah you give so much love because you're logically at a high enough vibration to know that that's beneficial to all and you've healed your field enough that it's like well it's time to help everyone else now because my field is just encompassing whatever so but yeah I was going to say like I wonder he was saying Alec about like how far away from the body or something had something to do with it do you know if like farther away from the body means earlier in the like an older thing or I wonder it would be interesting to figure that out because like I wonder if she could be like wow there's something like a block from you that seems to be indicating that you had a trauma back when you were Jesus 2,000 years ago or Julius Caesar or whatever
That
this is
would
a
be
really long
interesting.
like, that's I've never seen someone whose most recent trauma in their shadow is that far back in that many lives or
Yeah.
whatever like it's just so interesting how I've been doing mostly past life healing I think the last few weeks and I've been
Mm-hmm.
mostly at peace since May 1st. Okay, I'm gonna get my mug. But yeah, were we talking about something else? My day, yeah, going to the bank. I don't know.
Oh
It's
yeah,
synchronous.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
You were going to the bank. The ATM was not working.
yeah. So then I had a nice experience with a human being.
How
That's
was your confidence?
it's getting so much better. I mean, I feel like I'm walking around like God sent me, basically. So like when I'm at the beach, I'm just like, or walking around grocery stores, I just feel like I have like a secret or something, and um, I'm just super peaceful and confident. I'm walking slower and just savoring everything. I'm like just observing humanity, like they're like children, and or like they're like the background thing. Whatever. They're like in a dream. It's weird. It's like I'm seeing everybody. I don't know. I'm seeing their souls, or I'm like I don't know, or I'm like seeing. And it's also getting to where like it's noticeably good vibes around me because I'm attracting so strongly now that basically like I'm always hearing like parties and like laughter and kids playing all around me and stuff. It's just like everywhere I go now, it's like that's all I see. Oh, and it's gonna get funny when I tell you the other parts. at the beach. Okay, I'm going to put the phone down here near the bananas, see if it'll stand. I got to get a phone case. This is going to break eventually. Let's see. Hello. Okay. All right, so I'll just be my torso for a minute. Um, so yeah, then I went home after the bank, after crazy numbers of synchronicities. Um, I talked to my sister some. I don't remember. And then I didn't get to the beach too early. It was like probably 2:30 or 3 actually by the time I got there. But the sun sets at 8:30 now, so and it's so hot the last few days, so it's been really beautiful, like upper 80s. Um, and so I finally had like great beach days for the first time in like a year because I was having constant inconvenience with like it getting cold or I still am very sensitive to cold. So the ocean still feels cold to me. So in California, it would feel even worse. But like unless it's like August or September, I gotta go somewhere with like warm. I gotta go to the Caribbean or something. I want to start going on vacation.
Yes, can you just do that? I'd love to go on vacation. But you don't have to go on vacation.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do it from a state of being and passion rather than
Yeah, like trying to
planning
get
and
away from
desiring
your,
and a
yeah.
getaway. Yeah, not a getaway. It's a
Oh,
home
I'd
is
love to
where
go
the
to the
heart
beach.
is.
Yeah.
Am I putting in how much sugar? I don't
That's
know. Was that 3? I don't.
a
I like.
lot of sugar.
I
How
like a
much
lot.
coffee are you making,
Well, it's a
man?
big mug. I don't know. I like it sweet, and I'm just like treating myself to what I like and not judging myself. And I expect time to literally end in like 10 days, and then for me to go back. So yeah, then we would go back to maybe just
Oh,
5 days ago or 10 days ago, and then do it again, either from the perspective of knowing that we just did it or not, and saying, hey, let's wipe memory again, load state.
is that your
Like
choice?
think about it from the video game character's standpoint too. Okay, so I'll let that get cooler. I'll go back to the stand and then come get it in like 20 minutes. Okay. Um,
Is it
yeah.
your is it your choice of how much you remember and forget?
Pardon?
Is that your choice? How much you remember and forget?
I think I would imagine that you sort of can craft. I don't know. It's so trippy because it's like you craft the experience in a way where the intuition is going to lead the avatar towards this outcome. It's not that we don't have freedom of choice, but it's sort of like it's orchestrated like the designer of a video game or something, I guess. And then you have like this variable priced will where you're gonna, but you're still it's still you. You're just gonna act naturally from your heart and soul and inner child and then arrive at some sort of cool surprise or a different perspective than the first time you lived it. And then eventually you get back to the spaceship probably and remember that you've done it more than once. So who knows? When we woke up today, did we wake up just after going to sleep last night or did we wake up after beating the game and then reloaded state? Because if you think about it from the video game character's perspective, you get back to the beginning of a level, say you're Mount Mario, and you just beat a world in a castle, and then you go to the first level of the next world, and then you beat a few levels, or you die, or whatever. Either you have to start over, or you load state. Either way, the character is not retaining awareness of, with the load state in particular. It's just like I just came out of the castle again, and I don't remember that I just did this, died, and then come back, or did it and had beat the level, and now I'm beat. Oh, I want to go back and beat it a different way and get that collectible or whatever.
Yeah.
It's so interesting.
Mm. I was just talking to someone earlier about the book series in the 90s, early 90s or 80s called Choose Your Own Adventure.
Oh yeah, I think
Mhm.
I think my sisters like that and have those.
Oh, really?
Okay.
I need to get some of those for my kids. Okay. What else happened that day?
Okay, so here's the interesting part. When I'm actually getting to the beach, it's Belmar, New Jersey, and it's very, crowded this time of year in this area. Really hard to park. Intuition helps with that. Um, So let's see. And then, okay, so I had gone to, oh God, I don't know. I got to the other beach that I go to farther north on Monday. I had a nice few hours there. The second half of the day was really sunny. Then Tuesday I went to Belmar. They didn't. I was so annoyed. They didn't accept cash for the badge for the daily, and I mentioned to the person, it's against New Jersey state law to for businesses to not accept cash, but that's not your fault. And I was just like slightly triggered for a second. But then I had to. I don't like technology either, so I'm like, okay, I have to point the phone at a QR code. I think I remember what these things are, and I'm gonna go to a website and then like buy a badge with my credit card for the day and just sit here for 5 minutes because you can't take a $10 bill in 2023. That's just we're just too advanced for that. Um, so
Yeah.
well, anyway, but that was funny. But that I had that issue. But so that was fine. But and Tuesday was good. The beach was great. It was warm. I walked a lot in the ocean in the surf. Um, on my head. Okay. Um, and but so like I've been so isolated my whole life, and then there's also the elements that we'll talk about more and more with healing shame around the body, sexuality, identity, age, stuff like that. And so I think, I forget if I ever said it on here, but my last co-ed social gathering was on April 26th, 2002, which was the day my dad's funeral. So I was 14. I was prepubescent. I've had some friends since. I've had some social gatherings where I was not. I mean, there were some friends, but it wasn't peers. They were much older or much younger, or like parties where I was like dead center, and everybody else at the party was double-digit years older than me or younger than me. So stuff like that. Or like I might hang out with my ex-girlfriend. I had one girlfriend, um, but we weren't that compatible romantically, and it was sort of a trauma bond. But now we've evolved a lot, and she's doing great, and I'm so happy for her. Um, and we haven't seen each other as much the last 2 months, but we're still friends. And she and my mom actually work together. So what am I trying to say? It's hard for me to like keep my train of thought. So with girls, with social experiences. So yeah, I had my first kiss on my when I was 29. It was on who I've been told is my soulmate's 12th birthday. Um, so if she is, and we talk soon, I'll find out whether she beat me or whether she was 11 or who had their first kiss first. Because I was born 17 years earlier. Um, so, and then I was trying to write that girl today too, who I had my first kiss with. I'm trying to be more proactive about like just trying to. She's sort of a friend of mine too, a little bit still, and I'm just trying to be like open to like going on a date or going just to hang out as friends with people and experiencing being social. Because I don't ever do that. Uh,
What do you think is still blocking you from doing that?
Mainly my soul wanting me to get to this profound level of healing without bailing out any part of me that thinks it needs external salvation. Because now, I mean,
Got it.
it's just my soul is so ridiculously, annoyingly intrepid that and they also wanted me to have the ultimate horrible life of isolation and grief and stuff and autoimmune stuff and anxiety and depression. Um, so that when I eventually have my happy ending, um, it'll be the most inspiring thing ever to humanity. It'll be like I'm like a child still developmentally and socially and emotionally. So I see things through the eyes of a child. I was like a genius as a small child basically, and I did amazing in school. Oh, and I started out with perfect attendance in kindergarten and finished with perfect non-attendance in senior year. And it was like less every single year. Essentially, there was like one exception where I was on a pace for it to work out like that, but then I was actually missed 90 days that year because when my dad died, I was on homeschooling. So then I went to that school dance the day of his funeral, and then 21 years plus still, I haven't hung out with peers. But it's harder to hang out with peers when your peers' parents are might judge you and think that you're like a pedophile, because it's like society is like decided, you save the children, but these children will just eventually just exist their way out of being what we care about. We'll throw them in jail later when they commit the crimes because they were victimized when they were kids. It's like it doesn't make any sense to keep judging the people that are doing these things, because then for quantum mechanics, they're just an aspect of ourselves. So then we're like subconsciously judging the part of ourselves that paid taxes. And like, I wonder, like, could there be a tool that could tell us how many murders and rapes of children have you paid for in your life unwittingly? Like, and looking in the mirror and saying, wow, that hurts, and like watching The Sound of Freedom and like crying and like really feeling the weight of all of it, instead of suppressing it or just saying, oh, let's just get the bad guys and I'm angry, throw them in jail. Like, how about we all grieve to the point where we can like heal the actual source of the issue and stop suffering as a construct? It sounds more productive to me than just delaying the inevitable, because as long as we're controlling, like, I was thinking about the occupation of judge earlier, and I'm like, your job is to create karma, basically, by
Wow, yeah.
controlling and enslaving other people and acting as God. And yeah, it's
I've
fear-based
always,
control mechanism.
yeah,
So
I've always
destructive.
felt a strange energy around that job, actually. That's interesting. I've never heard it articulated that way.
Oh, I set an intention before. I'm setting so many intentions now, and just saying, not one of my top priorities. Give it like 500 years before I was setting the intention to actually experience the crucifixion again, but with SIPA.
With
So I couldn't
what?
feel, with the condition where you can't feel pain, but just to be the observer of the experience. Not on my list of things I want to do soon. That sounds horrifying, but eventually I'll be at a level of awareness where that sounds like a fun experiment to be in the observer of the video game character Jesus Christ as
Oh,
he's going through the crucifixion. Just, it wouldn't be kind to do that to yourself with pain turned on. Just, like toggle the settings in a video game. Again, we're creators. We can literally do anything we want. We just have been conditioned out of using our imagination and living vicariously through Disney movies that mock the physics of existence and play off of our imagination and stuff. But they're also beautiful, and you could look for the
yeah.
good and say that creative people got jobs that help pay for their families to eat, and they didn't choose for the producer of the movie to be a pedophile.
You gotta read Jesus in the scenes.
Yes, yes.
There
I
was a
will.
bit in the near the end about the crucifixion, and I was just so, yeah, I cried. But it was saying how like Jesus he knew how to deal with the pain because he just went to that back to that place of of oneness and I am, and I can't
And last
really.
year, they were telling me that pain can be transcended too if you transcend the fear of it. There's like a Fringe episode that explains, like, I think that you can use logic and physics to heal your shadow, so that it's weird, because I guess it is sort of like a simulation in a sense, because you can manipulate how you get reality fed back to you based off of what your shadow is or something. So if you heal all shadow around the experience of pain, and also I would imagine there's some sort of divine intervention to like protect people who are being tortured, hopefully. So out of
Yeah.
body experience, or the body would, you pass out from the pain or whatever. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. Setting intentions about different experiences over again. I forget what we're talking about. The beach.
Uh,
Um,
did you buy something? Yeah, you spent some money on the beach and they didn't have a card machine.
yeah, I bought.
Oh,
So Tuesday
no,
was
that was.
great at the beach. I don't know. There's like several things. We'll watch it back and be like, oh yeah, we never finished talking about that. So then, okay, so me being isolated forever, and so I identified as trans age for most of the last 15 years or so, because I identify as like a 13-year-old, and have felt like I've been in the wrong body. I've had body dysmorphia. I've been a LIGO because of how, like, from an energetic perspective, it's I think Louise Hay has said tied to feeling like a complete outsider and like you don't belong to anything. And it's tied to Michael Jackson having it, being one of my past incarnations. And I found out that I had it the same week that he died. So that was another one of the breadcrumb puzzle pieces, that no coincidences, quantum entanglement stuff. That sort of, oh my God, I got downloads yesterday at the beach about which of the four Beatles are doppelgangers to which of my four best childhood friends. So that was cool. But
Gosh.
yeah, so I went to the beach. Okay, so Tuesday was great at the beach. It was warm. I'm still not going to the ocean much because I get so cold. Um, but then Wednesday I went back yesterday, so still pretty late. Anyway, so I'm still shy about talking about some of the stuff with like my sexuality, and so I'm probably procrastinating a little bit. But
That's
um,
okay. We can invite Calabri to talk more about that, and
yeah,
I
and
think
she
that
was
will
going to
help.
talk about like age gap relationships and threesomes and just demystifying or destigmatizing the
Yeah.
everything around how
She's
we.
transcended she's transcended shame.
Nice, nice. Yeah,
Just
I mean, we've
like
got to have so much compassion for ourselves. And remember, we've been deeply programmed by people that are trying to depopulate us and
and
lower
control
our
us.
fertility, control us. They're messing with our genes with V words and soy and different things to confuse our bodies into identifying different ways. So it's like, it's very tricky being in my perspective, being this awake to how they do things. Or like the atrazine, I think, does a lot too. And so,
Mm.
um, I forget what that's in. I'm not an expert on some of these things, but I just, what am I saying? Because I feel so much for the LGBTQ community, and I've long felt like, ooh, maybe that would be a safe place for me being trans age, or maybe they would judge me and think that I don't fit in their clique or whatever. And then it's like there's so much virtue signaling and communism and stuff pushed through the political left, and then these are victims of getting jab injuries and being poisoned most by the technology, and they're most robotic already, and they live in the suburbs and the cities more than the rural areas, so they're not as connected to the earth. I mean, they're probably in communities that are lower vibrational energy and a lot more Wi-Fi and everything. So they're victims, and I love them unconditionally. But then also they don't understand some of the things and get triggered because they've been groomed to hate, and to be
Yeah.
cynical and to go with man over God, basically, and Satan at times even, to sort of be playful with all that, or chant things that are scary, and then the conservatives get mad at them, and it's all like, hey, it's divide and conquer. Let's try to keep our composure and be nice to each other. What was I saying? So I relate to LGBTQ. I relate to all these different age groups because my dad was born in the year of the Great Depression. My mom was a baby boomer, born the year of a whole bunch of crazy. I mean, 1947 was a crazy year with a whole bunch of important things. My sisters were born in the 70s, so I grew up with a lot of older music and Sinatra and 60s and 70s music and 90s. I was like a genius or like an adult when I was 5, 10. So like I think of the 90s nostalgically like people 10 to 20 years older than me do.
Yeah.
Because I felt more like that was my high school, college age because I was just so at peace and having a great childhood. And then the last 20 years, my dad died 21 years ago. My sister died in 2005, and I've barely been in school or seen friends or peers in 20, 21 years. Um, so I relate to children because I still identify as an adolescent. I love children, younger kids. Like
Yeah.
I just watching the children play at the beach yesterday just made me feel so much joy. I was like sitting and like praying and like
Mm.
emanating love. I was just amongst my people and like it just felt so good. I'm not having agoraphobia anymore and anxiety and just
Yeah.
everybody looks so happy
Which
and
is
I'm just by
wonderful.
myself, but I'm at peace and I'm like eventually I'll have a friend and a bed. Um, and my mom and sister like appreciating what I'm doing, and my therapist not gaslighting me, and it'd be great to have anybody in my life physically who can hear me or see me or understand me or give me a hug or I don't know. Like I mean, I got hugs
Mm.
from my mom and sister, that's good, and my therapist were great. But it's just exhausting when they're scientifically incapable of not getting triggered and projecting on me. But yeah, so I healed so much of that last night after my amazing day. I had this great volcanic eruption of emotion that's tied to probably Jesus and Mother Mary or somebody. I don't know who at this point. Um, but I feel like this big mother wound thing was, I don't know what's happening collectively. We have like 10 million M-class flares. Like they're like every couple hours at this point,
And
seemingly.
it's messing
So,
with my sleep.
I mean, we're going through lots of changes energetically. But yeah, so the beach. Okay, so my social anxiety, the bad luck early in the day turning into great luck, where I knew the detours and all the ATM not working. Then it was gratitude for the great human interaction with the nice woman at the bank. And then a bunch of numerological validations, and I'm just like high on life. And then I told my sister, because I marveled to my sister yesterday before I went to the beach. I said to her, I forget if I said this earlier, but um, I reached a level of peace. Did I say this before? That I didn't know existed in this reality, or did I just tell you?
Yes.
Did I say it on
Yeah.
here?
Right at the beginning, yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
It's
Even for
hot in
people
here.
with everything going their way, with love and money and success and everything. And I don't even have anything yet. So I'm going to be the most grateful person ever. And I had this sense like 10 years ago. I was like, I'm miserable. But if this 2020 pandemic pans out, I thought back then, I was like, this might be exactly what I need and what humanity needs to get healthy finally and reach our potential and live our dreams. And I was like, I knew I'd be like, ooh, I'm going to be dangerous if I actually could fulfill my potential and now have a ton of gratitude and appreciation for having overcome craziness. Anyway, so I got to the beach and I was looking for parking. Let's see. And so part of what I feel when I go to the beach um, is some of like my childhood and teen wounds of being and 20s and having nobody and seeing all these kids and friends hanging out and pretty girls and like not knowing how to like make eye contact with people or like talk to anybody or smile at anybody. Um, and now I feel so confident, but it's still residual stuff. I'm not all the way there. It takes practice, and I'm just not rushing it or making myself do anything that I don't feel safe to do yet, because I know that it's happening really quickly now, with how much I'm growing every day, every week.
Yeah.
Um, but so part of what I went back to Belmar for, and part of what was not experienced at the other beach that I go to, um,
Yeah.
is seeing more young people and seeing more pretty girls in bikinis, which I haven't really been to the beach in like a year other than difficult experiences. And I was in the hospital during the whole heat wave last year, the whole Leo season. I was in the hospital.
Mm.
So I've just been like blocked for a whole year from having anything but this brutal, just spiritual purging course of beating like 500 level. Anyway, so I'm procrastinating, but so
It's okay. I need to go soon because
okay.
it's 10:03 and I'm really sleepy because I woke up at around 2 o'clock.
Oh my
I
goodness.
know, I can't. I keep getting up really early.
I guess I'll sum up the best parts of the beach were funny. So I went. There's like one-way streets in South Belmar, and it's sort of it used to be anxiety provoking to me with the traffic and everything, and worrying about pedestrians. And anyway, I saw some people leaving, and
Right.
And the old me would have never stopped and asked, "Are you leaving?" and waited for 2 minutes and blocked traffic and had to figure out how to like arrange my car so that people could get by me. I would have felt just so stressed that I would have fled the scene and just looked for a spot a mile away and just walked.
Mm.
Um, and so, but this was a nice spot. And then there were like a few friends. There was like pretty girls that were like parking the car, and like everybody was wearing thongs yesterday. It was really
Songs?
yeah, like it was crazy.
What?
It's just like
I didn't know.
it must be very in or just in my dream of a reality in my town. Michael, it was comical yesterday. 2 days ago, not so much. It was just a bunch of different age people and some pretty people and some regular people. I don't know, but so Michael's inner child wants to be able to go to the beach sometimes or see girls or like have friends ever or whatever, and like so it's just nice to be around people and having because I'm like, ooh, I'm so much more healed than the last time I was at Belmar Beach. like a whole year ago. So I was just savoring the experience and everything, and just the beautiful weather, and it was like upper 80s, and the water was pretty comfortable, and just so many people having fun. But yeah, so I waited, and I got the good spot, and um, what? Yeah, so it's just she's in her thong, just putting stuff in the car, and I'm not. I a lot of good views yesterday is my point. It was comical. It was not mathematically reasonable for it to not be like divinely aligned.
Yeah.
Um, and the craziest part, so like every time I looked up, it was like a pretty girl in a thong. Um, and I can't believe I feel comfortable talking about all this stuff now. But and I'm of course one of the things that's going to be controversial to some people is that now there's this talk of changing pedophile to minor attracted person because there is agenda to normalize it for nefarious reasons, so they don't have to face the music with prison and stuff like that, and to call it an
Right.
identity. And I'm like, yes, we have to educate about this, but there's nuance to all these discussions because of the depth of the programming and the controlled opposition, the intelligence of it. They are still trying to guide us towards judgment and fear and lower
Right.
vibration because it's darkness versus light and spiritual war. So the ultimate goal is for us to get enlightened and ascend into the video game of life.
Yeah.
And we can't do that fully if we're still holding judgment of parts of ourselves, i.e., the people who are committing these crimes. They're all enslaved to something too, and they're all aspects of ourselves too. And hurt people, and generational trauma. And it doesn't make it okay, and I'm not condoning it, but it is what it is. And we chose to basically come into a Grand Theft Auto like video game and identify as the characters, and
Yeah.
we're complaining about the life that we're in when we chose it, and then when we get out of it we're like, oh, it's just a video game. It's just really realistic, and we were in it, so it felt we got attached and identified as that lifetime. So anyway, I'm trying to release all judgment. And anyway, so I was joking. I'm making such bold, crazy comments now where I was on the Jason Shirka post where I was basically saying unpopular opinion and like trigger alert and all this stuff, where I'm talking about how we need to educate people while also choosing to let go of our judgments of the people that hurt people, recognizing that energetically that's going to help end the suffering in general. Anyway, and I was joking about how it's going to be LMAO when people realize that the second coming of Christ is a minor attracted person, because I am a child of God. I was literally blocked by my soul from developing beyond adolescence, so as to protect me from being conditioned into adulthood, which is basically, I was told,
It sounds nice.
it's basically like successfully domesticated human. Basically, it's you are now a battery in the matrix. You are now we've successfully gotten them to abandon their imagination. They're running on trauma and programming, fear, materialism. They're consumers, and they're going to work until they retire, and then we'll kill them off before we pay them their retirement. And I'm like, um, or what was I saying? um,
You were jumping around so much.
yeah,
But it's okay because it's just all coming through.
but
But
yeah. So
yeah, I need
lots of
to
pretty
go.
girls. Oh my God! So the two
Oh
girls
yeah.
right in front of me were like doppelgangers. Mathematically, they likely are doppelgangers because it's impossible. They look exactly like these two girls that I liked when I was like 13, 14, 15. And they were probably like 14 or 15, just my type. And really pretty. And again, and there's a lot of sexism that goes. There's a lot of judgment. People throw out people like 20 years later. You age like you just existed out of innocence because that's just what everybody does. So you must have done it too, right, Michael? Like we all just became a bunch of depraved perverts because of society corrupting us. Oh, you didn't do that. Now we're going to hate you for being attracted to girls that are developmentally where you are. If you
Yeah.
actually did a math problem on how many people have come within 10 or 30, 50 feet of me in my life, and how many hours that has been, especially with peers, or up with peers, the amount of time I've spent in close proximity to people who are developmentally where I am is probably that of like a 12-year-old or a 13-year-old. I've never worked a day in my life except the one where I babysat my soulmate. Um, um, I have a seventh grade education. I've never been on a date. So would you want and again, you could think about it from the female perspective. If you had a 13-year-old daughter who experienced such profound trauma and isolation from society, or maybe she was in a coma for 20 years, or she was wrongfully imprisoned, or she was abused and held hostage, and she was developmentally 13, and then at 35, society told her, you have to date college age or older people when you've never kissed or done much of anything. And from like, if you were the father of a 13-year-old girl that just existed into being a developed, like a woman child that's 35, but they might say, oh, I might prefer for them to date before they are with these college guys and 30-year-old guys. And I feel like unethical telling my chronological age on dating apps because I don't want to lead on women who are looking for something that I'm not developmentally ready to provide. Like I feel like 18, 20, 22-year-old girls would find me to be like a child. So anyway, so it was just a lot of triggering things that I'm gonna get to talk about
Yeah.
for fun. But it was a lot of pretty girls at the beach of all ages. And two of them just looked just like these girls that I'm about to have this lucid, wet dream about that they're telling me about soon. And they could be, they said, Michael, they could be any age. There's age. We're shapeshifters. I literally shapeshifted into a child a year ago at the hospital in front of doctors. And they got so confused. I got confused because I didn't know what happened. But they
Yeah.
started talking like I was a 5-year-old right in front of me, and it was so trippy. Um, but so like in the dream, they can shapeshift and adjust because they're just ageless, just infinite and eternal consciousness trying on a suit of meat that can then shift how old it looks when we're all the same age.
I can't wait.
Science. Anyway, so yeah, it was a nice day at the beach. I had surf taco, chicken quesadilla. I
Wow.
enjoyed the ocean. I every time I turned, everything was so aligned. It was butts in my face every time I lifted my head.
What
It was
was in the
ridiculous.
taco, Michael?
What?
What was in the taco?
It was a chicken quesadilla. Surf Taco is the name of the restaurant.
Oh, I thought. Okay, all
And I
right.
got ice cream too at the end. It was just such a beautiful day. It was like perfect weather, perfect view.
I forgot I was gonna say something. Damn
Oh,
it.
and then I set intentions for doing the day over again and getting to the beach much earlier so I could see the girls and talk to them and stuff like that. So
Oh yeah,
we're
yeah,
going to
yeah.
do different
Okay.
games like that where now I don't have any regret because I'm like, ooh, I just have an idea for how to replay this day when I play this day again. Set the
Yeah.
intention, let it go, remind my future self that that's one of the games I want to play, and then you interact back and forth, and then it's just like this cycle of it. You become. It's so weird how you. It's so trippy how I the back and forth. It's
Let me just write this down because I
in the
want to
air.
talk about
Something.
platinum and diamond consciousness next time.
Okay.
I'm just gonna
I think
write it
platinum is
down.
where you basically break the firmament. I don't know the exact type. It's not important. They're really just labels.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just sort of letting people know that there's frequencies above the level at which you used to be able. You would have ascended at like a third of where my frequency is probably before this ascension. Now we're at such high frequencies that I get to sort of stay connected to this mountain of light that we're standing on, and we're just trying to all build it up so we can eventually break the ceiling and the glass ceiling and connect with the solar flares to unify the field and blend heaven and earth. But again, it gets really trippy because once we get to that moment, it's really just at the end of a video game, the end of the construct of time, the end of the play. And
Yeah.
so before we go to a timeless reality, we're going to want to rewrite death and suffering out of the history of time gradually and play a bunch of games and optimize each day and level in the whole experience to be a dream come true for everybody every day. Make the best of your today, be the worst of your tomorrow. It's coming.
Oh, I just listened to that in the car. But yeah, thank you. I'm falling
So
asleep.
we're making it up. We're constantly making it all up.
Oh yeah.
Trying to segue into a Jason song that's fitting. Oh my god, my coffee. Wait 1 second.
Oh shit. Oh,
Sorry, wait. Okay, I'm almost done.
is it burning?
Alright, it's still warm. Yay.
That's amazing. Yeah, I gotta go to bed, man. I've been up for too long.
Pardon?
I gotta go to
Okay,
bed.
sorry. I got to sing one song.
Yeah, which one? Okay, I wrote Be Where Your Feet Are, Don't. Oh, these are my requests.
Okay,
I also remembered that Don't Change
okay,
and Be Love.
okay. And I was saying making it up came to me. So why don't I do one of yours and making it up, I guess, or two of yours,
The,
or how much? I'll sing to you as long as you want, and just practice. But I'll
which
just
one?
sing. I'll just lullaby you to sleep.
Yeah, yeah. Be Where Your Feet Are, Don't Change, or Be Love.
Okay. Um. Yeah, and I got to learn some more, like to remember all the. I know like enough of each probably.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, actually that's interesting though. It's more of a problem at the moment with the remembering than it is with the anxiety. So that's getting a lot better.
That's
Um,
amazing.
oh, and I've been singing a little more vocally with windows open driving. I've been less anxious about
That's
CDs playing
good.
loudly, and oh, I'm starting to like have visions of like certain songs like Let It Be or Karma Police or certain interesting songs play when I'm passing through areas where people can hear it, and just
Yeah.
imagining that people are like hearing lyrics that are giving them synchronicity and validations pertaining to relevant things. Because I
Uh-huh.
know a lot of these songs from my doppelgangers are or my doppelgangers of my soul family are really potent lyrically for these times by design to like
Mhm.
to help people awaken, and it's gonna be so cool when we all have like music and comedy back and the
I
comedy goes away.
know. And I love how, like, our soul families, everyone seems to be a writer or a good writer or
Right.
an articulate writer.
Artists of some kind, yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm
All right.
with her. I want to message her. Singers, yeah. Phil,
All
I
right. What
can't
are
wait
you
for
gonna
Phil to
sing
realize
again?
what. Sorry, I'll start.
It's okay. I'm like falling asleep here.
All right, so I'm gonna make it up. We're making it all up. Whatever we want to do, we create anything.
Okay.
Um, okay, so where does it start? I'll start this low. Oh, actually, the bridge is pretty high, so I could see how bold I feel like trying to see if I can belt it, or I can just do it in falsetto, whatever. Um, well, I may go through this life, never knowing who I am or why I'm here, why I'm doing what I'm doing. I guess I'll just go with whatever my name is and take forward everything I've learned from my father and my father's father. Weren't they making it up, making it all up? What else can we do? Yeah, we're making it up, making it all up. The only way to get through, 'cause life's so hard, but life's alright. 'Cause I'm
Hmm.
here with you tonight, making it up, making it all up. Some people think
Wow.
the world revolves around them. Mm, yeah. And their beautiful child. Yeah. Mm. And people like to pile things up around them and surround themselves with a beautiful lie. Ain't we making it up, making it all up? What else can we do? Yeah, we're making shit up, making it all up. It's the only way to get through, 'cause life's so hard, but life's alright. 'Cause I'm here with you tonight, making
Hmm.
it up, making it all up.
Oh, you sound so good
Thank
today.
you. Okay, and then the bridge. All
You sound
right,
really good.
thank you. Yeah, there's more. Okay, it's pretty high. There's more to this life, more than what you see. And it's true what they say, that life is but a dream. So row your boat gently, gently down that stream. And keep dreaming your dream. Keep on making it up, we're making it all up. What else can we do? Yeah, we're making it all up. It's the only way to get through, 'cause life's so hard, but life's alright. 'Cause I'm here with you tonight, making it up, making it all up. Sometimes you'll hold that note really long, and they'll do it with the audience, and it's fun, silly. But yeah, I always love that one. It came out on No, his
Yeah,
sixth
I was gonna
album,
ask you what album. I
2018.
listened to it.
2018. Yeah,
2018.
I heard him play it in Philadelphia, full band, 2018
Mm.
for that tour. He wrote that album for his wife at the time. I don't think it's even publicly announced that he's divorced, so sorry for outing Jason. But nobody's watching. Okay. But yeah, Wikipedia doesn't talk about it yet. He mentioned it in a TikTok live, but it's
Really?
more, he just hasn't really been open about it
When
much.
was it? When was it that he
Well, my
got
ex-girlfriend,
divorced or anything?
my
With my
ex-girlfriend
hair.
noticed, because she's so observant with these things at like concerts, we saw him so many times, that she noticed that he had stopped wearing the wedding ring, and then I'm like,
Right.
Crystal, let's not be gossipy, and we just want to be happy. And then for a while I thought he and Phil were soulmates because they're so ridiculously similar, it's insane. And Jason's bisexual, and he's been really like
I didn't know
embracing.
he was bisexual. Has he always been that way?
um I don't know if he always was, but I think he's embraced, and that's part of the benefit too of some of the LGBTQ stuff. I mean, it's not all bad. Some people are feeling more empowered to own their identities and stuff, and there's more marriage equality and stuff. So it's there's so much nuance to all these things, and but yeah, so he's really been very like he didn't want to get married until there was marriage equality, and he's always really been a believer in everybody having equality and stuff, and the environment protection and all that. Okay, so which one should I sing of? Yeah, which one should I sing of? Okay. Oh yeah, so Be Love. How about a little bit of that? Because that was in my mind too. Because I was literally thinking about, oh, did I finish this part? So at the end, after the girls that I liked the most left, and there were a bunch of other girls all around me that were pretty, and then I had this idea about, I've never asked a girl out. I've definitely never walked up to a stranger and said hi or anything like that. So I was like, ooh, if I win this, and then I also had this hilarious idea. I told my sister, I'm like, watch me win this one, $5,000 a week for life, which is like useless when there's 1 week left before the end of time, um, or maybe a month or whatever. But I'm like, watch, that's useless to me, but it's not useless to everybody else. So I was actually making a commitment. If I had won, I thought I was like 50-50. If I had won, I was going to try to like trade it for the girl's phone number basically and be like, you want me to tell you my story about being Neo, or I was going to come up with something relatively, see if I could, but I would be scared still in that situation, but it would give me the freedom to be like, well, this is a good conversation starter. I just won the lottery. Do you want the ticket, or do you want to split
Yeah.
it? I don't even need it. I'm so abundant. I just want to make people, like, I'm just excited to over tip in this
Yeah.
economy because people are probably not used to that. And I just want to, like, get
Mm.
these and go back in time. And anyway, so, and think about how powerful this makes you when you're literally unattached to, like, everything,
Mm.
to your own incarnation, to your own body. I mean, to breathing another breath. You, you're powerful. So Jason has a song, 5-6, Be Love. I think 5-6 is Jesus Christ letters because that's what
Mm.
it was like an inside joke that he changed the name because Be Love is better. But
It
it's
is.
such a reference though to this Christ consciousness vibe of the lyrics of the song. So 5-6 is
Yeah.
really kind of funny that I'll tell him that eventually. Anyway, so I don't know if I know all the lyrics, but I'll try to sing a verse. Okay, let's see. And then okay. Um, don't dress up your children like dolls from your past. They'll run. Did I
Yeah.
start too high? I'm getting so much more freed up. They'll run
The
from you madly. They'll never look back. When they grow older, they'll do. Oh my God, I got like.
they'll do
They'll
just
do
the
just the
same.
same. The world world's a reflection of how children
Children.
play. I feel like more hoarse now again.
Yeah.
Mm.
Is your coffee cold?
It's a little warm, so.
I'm sorry, I'm so
You
sleepy.
right? All right. Give it all away. Give it all and be unstoppable all the way. Everything is really possible all the way. You never really owned it anyway. It'll all fall in place
Place.
when you just let
There it is again.
go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. When you're in the mood, baby, hear just what your heart has to say. When your world is turning topside and turbulent, you better hurry back down to the bottom of your soul. Get down, give it all, and be loved. Be loved. All right, that's good enough.
Oh, your voice is so good.
Thank you.
It's so good to listen to. It's a lot clearer for sure.
Yeah, and then I'll get probably less hoarse and less fluctuaty as I get less attached to sounding better than when I sound worse. But my voice has just been comically like inconsistent, and I'm not like I haven't had lessons, and I've always felt insecure. Like my sister's like
Yeah.
professional, and I'm like I don't feel confident. I don't know how to like sing my best when I sing in front
I
of people.
can't
But again,
believe I can't believe you had no lessons. Your voice is so good and your singing is
it's
very good.
basically from like emulating all my doppelgangers and doppelgangers in my soul family.
Yeah.
I've like made to
Yeah,
have like a
it does.
chameleon-like voice, I think too.
You
So.
have a what?
I've been made to have a bit of like a chameleon-like voice. I was always good at doing impressions as a
Oh,
kid.
chameleon.
Jim Carrey is another doppelganger. And I've always been good at doing like singing impressions too, or like singing with accents, or just putting on voices. So once I get
That's fun.
comfortable and confident and have a friend in my life, I might actually be able to make things a little interesting in this world because I'm already seemingly spreading a lot of good vibration. I was wearing my Look for the Good shirt, not now, but in my sweatshirt
Oh
yesterday
yeah.
at the beach. So, yeah. Be where your feet are. Be where your feet are.
Mm.
All right, that's all I got. I mean, I don't want to keep you up. Don't
Yeah. No, I could listen
change.
to you
Don't change.
sing, but I'm very sleepy because yeah,
I'm
my
at your
sleep is
call. But I'm not
funny.
that far from falling in love with who you are. Okay.
I love that song. Can you do that whole one next time?
Okay.
I've got it on a list here.
Okay, I got to practice a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah. Can you do that? I love that song so
I
much.
actually was bold enough last like September to make a post of me singing that while I was driving, and I didn't even sound my best, and was like talking about how shadow was coming up, but I was like in an amazing place before I went through hell all fall and winter to cry a whole bunch of past life stuff out and
I thought
childhood.
you were almost there. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think that was the first time I heard that song actually. When you posted it, or have you already sent me?
girls like you are a little off. I could stop. Keep the rising cost of being normal down so we can afford all these freedoms that we found. And a girl like you is just the case, dressed for space in a giant pair of shades. And your best can be worn at any length. Don't change too much. I haven't had quite enough. I wanna get tangled up and sorted out. I could get lost in this, forgetting what caution is. I could be your gentleman.
Mm.
All right, that's
Oh,
enough.
oh, okay. I was waiting
Wait,
for the
what's
next verse.
the
All
next? Do I
right.
know that first?
I don't
Damn
know
it!
the next verse.
Was that the first verse or the second verse?
That was the first verse.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Girl like you,
I'm pretty sure that was the
supposed to
first.
cry to keep the seas from drying up. Okay, I got it backwards. To keep the flowers sprouting year round.
Oh
And a
yeah,
girl
you're right.
like
Yeah.
you, uh, reason why guys like
Oh.
me still like to call themselves chivalrous and cavalier. Don't change at all. I'm at your call. I'm getting hoarse by the minute. My voice wants me to let you sleep or something, or spirit. Um, how's
Yeah,
the birds
because they want
go?
to wake me up again. They probably have something to tell me. Maybe I should pay attention. So I might wake up at 1:30 or 2:30, and I just...
Don't change for me. Oh, you're astonishing. I wanna get tangled up, baby. Let's get tangled up. Yeah, I was thinking about like, oh, I'm gonna redo this day. I got this great comfy blanket, and eventually, the girls and me will be just hanging out in the blanket together, or I'll take them to the other beach. Uh, um, yeah,
Oh,
we'll
it'll be
create a whole
so...
bunch of adventures, and people will get over their addiction to judging people based off of their date of birth, which I'm pretty sure they didn't choose any
Oh my
more
God, I can't
than
wait to
their
talk
age.
about
I mean, their
that.
grade, their race, or their whatever. And we also, once people realize that once we don't, that we have variable price will, once you realize that the adversity we encounter, the human has no control over their desires or their feelings either. So it doesn't
Mm.
make any logical sense to judge the person. Now, yeah, don't act on something and like rape a child. Don't create karma, but if you are pure hearted, if you are operating from love, like there's a whole bunch of non age gap relationships or people at bars who just like try to get other people drunk to get them into bed, or people who lie to people to get into their pants. And it's like we normalize all this culture like hookup and this inappropriate superficial relationship. And then we demonize people for age gap if they might have a soulful connection, or their souls might have set it up. Like if my soulmate happens to be half my age, because our souls wanted to trigger humanity into releasing their judgment around age gap relationships, the human can't help that. Like I didn't have an older male influence since my dad died when I was prepubescent. I've not learned how to shave yet with a razor. I've still not been on a date. So it wouldn't make logical sense for me to be as attracted to a 25-year-old, much less a 35-year-old, as a 15-year-old, just logically. And it wouldn't make sense for a college age girl or older to want to date a guy that doesn't have a job and has no interest in working and has never really dated before. It wouldn't make sense for me to date a 30-year-old who wants to have a baby, and I'm like, I want to finish high school because I'm still in 10th grade. So
Yeah,
we're gonna trigger a whole bunch of people, and just with our love and light.
we will, and I'm so excited to talk to Kaliri about this
Yeah.
because, yeah, it's a great topic. All right, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Don't have to apologize.
Thank you. That was a 2-hour episode,
Yeah, we're
maybe?
working our
Which will...
way up to 4 hour, working our way up to going on like Unified or Portal, or like we're gonna like change the internet when we eventually go viral. We're gonna
I,
like arrange it with like Sayer, and we'll talk to Kelly, and we'll talk to Shirka, and we'll figure out a way to like take people to start on Instagram and pull it over to like the other internet that we're gonna create. That's gonna break the old internet. That's gonna be low vibrational. It's gonna go out of business. Instagram's just gonna
yeah, move it
crash
over to
over.
Portal.
Instagram can't handle it. It's horrible video quality, and Shirko back. Like he's really innovative and a master manifester. He just thinks outside the box. He's triggering his community at times
I
because
know, and
some
he's
of the
so
choices of
young,
what he talks
too.
about or what he aligns himself with are interesting. But I think he's crazy like a fox and sees the bigger picture. Everybody is where they are, so it's not. It's some people are like too awake for their own good, where it's like they get this spiritual ego of like I gotta stay near the top, but you gotta also sort of understand that the masses are still not aware of controlled opposition to a large extent. So we could still utilize Tucker Carlson or Sound of Freedom or some things like that, or Trump even, to help spread awareness in people and get them, gradual, or DeSantis or RFK, like even though they're not the answer, they're still the answer for somebody raising their awareness. We're not all going to become enlightened at the same time. We can accept people where they are. Anyway, I'll let you go to sleep.
It's making me, yeah, yeah, I do need to go to bed, but it does make me smile how
I'm
just,
being more natural in their lives. It's amazing. This is like as good as I felt probably in some of the things I recorded 5 months ago and never shared. I should probably look at them now and say, hey, I feel safe to share them now. I'm
you're
not
just,
going through a
yeah,
hellish purge of Jesus's mommy or daddy issues.
I'm just so happy to see you so free and so, passionate and animated and just, yeah, it's nice,
Oh, you
Micah.
should have seen me last night when I
Congratulations.
was vandalizing my mom's house to intentionally help her ethically to heal and help myself.
Oh, I know.
Long story there. It sounds
God.
bad the way I said it just now, and that'll trigger some people probably. I was,
Yeah.
oof, it was interesting. It
I
was fun.
would definitely add that to my if I were a fly in the wall moments.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you should watch it. Oh, and I know that my life is the Truman Show, literally. So I have an audience. I mean, I don't have physical people that I can hug, but I have like this laughing audience of angels that are constantly talking to me, and I'm talking to. I'm talking to
Oh my
myself all the time. In my
gosh.
whole life,
Oh
I had
my
a sense of
gosh.
it a little bit, but it was like I thought I was just somebody who paced around the house and talked to myself way too much.
I'm sorry. I
But I didn't
just
have other
remember.
people to talk to, so and now
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm like a kid with an imaginary friend, and now they're real because I believed enough and uninstalled corrupt programming that made me gaslight myself
Yes.
and believe my doubts and
I
fears.
just, yeah, I just remembered like this really full circle synchronicity that is just hilarious. And I could literally feel like my angels just laughing at me. This huge cosmic joke. I'll share it with you another time.
All right, cool. And I want to be able to start posting these on my page. I feel like I've been blocked from doing that by the universe,
That's
but
okay.
I'm also empowering myself to activate my masculine and not force, but like I'm gonna make choices for myself. So every time I click on the tab where it seems like it would be like the collaboration thing, it disappears as soon as I click on it. I haven't been like
Oh,
offered the chance to post it on my page. This one I feel better about, and I'm sort of I'm at the point where I'm just like excited to trigger people and just be loving and be like, I love you unconditionally and forgive you, and still want to bring you with
yeah.
me to heaven.
Yeah.
So
What episode are we on again? Is this 6?
6, yeah.
All right. Okay.
It's gonna be interesting to watch back and just see how much we evolve
Yeah.
too, because solar energies we're like jumping each week as much as we used to jump in years,
Yeah.
because we're not in Kansas anymore.
Oh
We're,
yeah.
oh
Yeah.
my God, I gotta tell you.
I've had 2 quantum jumps in the last 2 weeks. Yeah. What's up?
There's this
What?
window here, okay? And then there's this TV there, okay? And I don't know
Yeah.
if you can see the window in the reflection at all of the TV. Maybe not.
A little, no, I can't.
Can you
No.
see the light in the reflection of the TV?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then the window is sort of next to it. Anyway, so I was one of the things that I'm going to create because I had it come into my conscious awareness, and I'm like, I can do anything, so let's intend this. I had a sense a couple weeks ago that I'm going to be able to have that window open, use plant medicine to raise my vibration, trance myself into being able to view through the reflection of the TV of the what's out the window, to have visions of the future, to give me the ability to set intentions or be prepared when I encounter that situation in real life, to know how to be like a peacemaker of like a fight, or to know how to help do a good deed or something, or to give me ideas of things that nobody's pressuring me to do, but I'm going to be in a place where I feel safe enough to do something that's going to help people or uplift people or something. So that's cool. And also, there's weird rainbows. Like sometimes I'll see rainbows in that window that don't make any sense. I don't know why it would look like that in that
Mm-hmm.
reflection. And I've always thought that was weird. Now I'm thinking it's like magical. And those two things came to me recently, and I totally almost forgot that. Guess what I saw out that window? That was the window I saw a year ago, almost at this time, or almost the anniversary of my craziest experiences that we'll talk
Oh,
about.
the Emerald City?
Yeah, I saw the Emerald City out my window. I was
Oh,
tranced into
not
5D.
this window.
Yeah, same
Not
window.
that window.
Same window. So
Same
now I'm like,
window.
I got this
Oh,
magic
it's the
window.
window. It's the
Oh my God, and
window.
Tenth Kingdom. Oh my God, we gotta watch that. Did you ever see
What?
that? The Tenth Kingdom, John Larroquette, Kimberly Williams
No.
Paisley. Really, really, really interesting miniseries. Really interesting.
I've got too much to
Transition to New Earth.
watch.
It's so profound now to go back and see some fairy tale stuff, see some dimensional travel type stuff. And also in the
Mm.
intro, it came out a couple years before 9/11, and there's a blatant, you see the Twin Towers crumbling straight down, you see Building 7 like glistening. So there's little
Mm.
Easter eggs through things like that. And again, there might be nefarious elements of them putting that on the air, saying like, this is what's possible in your future if you remember that you were dreaming and that you were superheroes and God. Um, but it's also the creative person, putting some beautiful ideas out there, or Disney Plus, Soul, Pixar, all these things. Because people are going to start watching Disney Plus and writing down some notes and researching what do they want to create, or listening to the
Mm.
quantum physics discussed in Quantum Mania or Doctor Strange, and then be like, this is actual
Michael.
science. The news isn't, but they're telling us the actual science and having us think that it's an action sci-fi movie, and we'll sell them popcorn for $12 and drinks. I mean, what do movie tickets cost after the inflation? I haven't been to the movie theater since the day before they closed. I was still going when everybody else was scared of germs. I was like, I'm going to a movie on March 15th,
Oh,
2020. That was the last one. I tried
I
once
wish
since
we were
then.
neighbors. I would have gone with you.
I went once after that, but AMC was forcing people to wear masks, so I had them call the cops instead and was like, call the cops. You're the ones breaking the law. And then I talked to the cops and was like, okay, fine. I don't want to cause any trouble. I'm not going to give my business to people that are going to discriminate medically. And so medical apartheid's cool from AMC's perspective. Like, how do people just normalize? I don't know. It's just crazy how you look into history and segregation and how it starts, and it's like, we would never do that. We would never just follow orders and
Oh, Michael,
discriminate based off of
don't get me
medical.
started on that.
We could have some rants.
You could
But
do
fair enough.
that when I'm ready to do 4 hours,
Okay.
okay? That is not today.
Turka's got to enable it to be more than 4 hours. We got to do like 4 hours on Instagram and then six more on just on
Oh
Unicorn.
my
11 hours
God.
and 11 minutes.
I could rant about that for a while. Anyway,
Yeah, I don't get tired much too now. Sometimes. Well, when you're feeling like this impassioned, I gotta turn the air on. I'm getting hot. All right, I'll let you go to bed.
I know. Yeah.
And
I'm
so yes,
sorry,
then
I
I
have
don't
to
smoke
go.
before, and then have this interesting stream. What do I call it? Stream of God consciousness or universal consciousness.
Universal
Yeah.
consciousness, I usually say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you,
Thank you.
Michael.
It was great seeing you. I'm so glad
Sorry.
I didn't go be absent from school today.
I know, I'm so proud of you.
I would have just stayed in
Six.
bed in the past when I was 15. I don't feel up to going.
Yeah, yeah, I'm blown away. And 6 episodes together. Come on, man. That's awesome. Fist bump.
Lucky seven next week.
Okay, lucky
What
seven.
will happen? Will I be in San Diego for most of the next week? Will I be back by then? Will I meet my soulmate Trinity on my parents' anniversary? Because it's
Book your flight already.
52 anniversary. That's seven, and it's 722. So it's 7722 are my two main soulmate numbers. And I got a wrong number call yesterday from a phone number that had both 77 and 22 in it. That is my life 100 times a day.
Oh yeah, me too. Probably not 100, but pretty close.
50.
I just laugh.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna go before
All
you
right.
hook me into another discussion.
Okay. Love you. Have a
I
great
love you a
night.
lot. Good
Thanks,
night.
everybody. See ya.
Thank you. Bye.